People complain. People are just going to have to look at us here for a minute.
2 more minutes.
Today's show is brought to you by High Tech Tactical, Hoosier Racing Tire, Steve's Auto Machine. Also brought to you by 41 Shocks, Knockout Graphics, Smiley's Racing Products, Bulletproof Products, Donco Plumbing, Schonefeld Headers, FB Designs, Ibex Race Bumpers, and RLD Productions. Now back to our show, Sooners Limited Modified Series.
And a good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Sooner Limited Modified Series, right here live on the Dirt Track Racing Network, all the way from Oklahoma. We've got Larry Carr and Steve Slater on the phone, and shortly we're going to have a few good guests join us. And I'm going to let Larry and Steve take it away.
All right. Well, good evening. It is another Wednesday night this time, a wet Wednesday edition of the Sooner Limited Modified Series radio show. I hope you all have had a good day. What's new out there, Steve?
Don't know much, just trying to stay cool. Been a kind of a hot one today. I'm just enjoying a little beer and kicking back.
Yeah, well, the series had a little time off. What have you been doing since we're not racing?
Doing all of my honeydews that I've been behind on. Had to do some repair work on the AC at the house and do a little tree work when I think it was it last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a little wind. I think it was last week. We had a lot of wind come in here and knock down a bunch of trees. We had to go trim the trees. That's basically been all I've been doing.
What's the news on the 00 Junior car?
ugly.
No news, huh?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you've seen the post I had on the 00, the main one.
Yeah.
It's ugly.
Yeah.
It had some holes and pistons, and it wasn't pretty. So we're just kind of making it happen, and hopefully we'll figure something out. And we're still kind of getting my boy's car and trying to figure out what we're going to do with it. But we'll get her done. So what have you been up to the last couple weeks?
Oh, been traveling around going to a little bit of racing here and there, enjoying some time off with the kid. We went fishing and caught a bunch of fish, and we don't get to do that very often.
Oh, you took advantage of the free weekend, huh?
I sure did. Well, actually, we went the weekend before, but I don't remember. We spent the weekend doing something this weekend. I don't remember. It went by too quickly. I know that much.
Right. Yeah, I was going to go try to go do some fishing last weekend, and at the last minute I decided I need to go do some other things. You take care of things at the house, because once you do the racing, all that stuff kind of gets set to the side.
Right.
So I did get some news last couple of days. Or I guess it was last night. I think I texted you all, right?
Yep.
Well, Quick Rescue Roof, they sponsored the Fallen Hero 50, and we highly appreciate that. They are going to sponsor the Humboldt race against the B-Mods, the B-Mod versus Limited Modified series. They're going to sponsor another roof kit. He just pretty much suggested just do whatever we want to do with it and how we want to do it. And I think being a 30-lap race, I think we're just going to do it halfway again.
Sounds like a really good deal. That's a great product Quick Rescue Roofs has, and we're glad to have them working with us at the Sooner Limited Modified Series. So that'll be a good prize for the halfway leader.
Yeah, and by the way, I did talk to him last night, and I told him we would like for him to be on the show, because I've mentioned to a lot of people. I actually mentioned to a guy Humboldt, runs Humboldt. I told him about it, and he goes, "Who's Quick Rescue?" So we are going to have him on the show maybe next week, or if not, week after. I don't know yet. Just whenever he has time.
Sounds great to me.
We'll find out who is Quick Rescue Roof.
I'm excited about the product, and we'll be glad to let him have an open forum to just sell his product if he wants to.
Yeah, exactly, because it is a good deal. I mean,
it is
for drivers, and I'm really considering going ahead and getting Caleb one, just because of the fact that, he's my son, and I want to make sure that everything I can do to make it safe for him.
Absolutely. So we got some pretty good guests tonight.
Yeah, we got Preston. He'll be on here, and next couple minutes, I believe. Then we'll have Jared Baird. He'll be on here along with the sponsor. So I think it'll be a pretty good show tonight. Get to talk about how Preston's doing, and matter of fact, I have a feeling that Preston's going to be looking into the top 10 by this weekend.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah, I think it's coming pretty soon, and I was actually looking at the points and kind of going through all the points today, or just right before the show, and I think we're going to have a big shakeup in the points after this weekend. In the top 10, I think it's going to be really, really good and be really interesting, and I think it's going to be a good deal. And it looked like Preston's on now.
Yeah, how y'all doing?
Good evening. Welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Preston Crawford, sport mod driver extraordinaire, if you will. How you doing, Preston?
Good. How are y'all?
Oh, we're good. You and I go back a ways, and I talked for a while with your buddy Frank Stapp a week or so ago for a long while, and we talked about, one of the things we talked about is the way you guys have impressed me in a way that you work so hard for what you get. You don't have the big fancy sponsors, in fact, very few sponsors, and you do it all with sweat and hard work, and a lot of times luck doesn't necessarily go your way, but once in a while it does, and it's been some interesting times.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's been a learning curve for sure.
Well, tell us the Preston Crawford story. How did you get started in racing? Are you first generation racer or second generation or?
I'm the first generation. When Frank got into racing, I went and watched him, and after watching him and kind of helping him out, then I got into it and been running ever since. Thanks.
How long has that been?
12 years now.
12 years. And did you start out in sport mods?
No, I started in pure stock, and I ran pure stock for, I think, 6 or 7 years, and then I moved over to sport mod.
Were you successful in your pure stock?
A little bit. Later on, not at first. I struggled bad at first. The last couple of years, I got a few wins.
Well, you know,
I didn't get a whole lot of wins. I got a couple.
Right. As easy as it looks like, it's there's a learning curve to put one of them cars around a track, even a pure stock.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a whole lot easier to make those little bitty circles than it is to make the correct big circles.
Yes, I've done a bunch of those.
So now, how long have you been driving pure stocks? I mean, sport mods, limited modifieds.
Been in the limited modifieds for, I think 5 years now, five or 6 years, something like that.
And you're doing pretty good with the Sooner Limited Modified Series. If I remember what I saw in the points, you're sitting in 11th. And
yes,
as Stevie and I were talking about earlier, we both expect you to move up into the top 10 this week. So not putting any pressure on you, but we just expect that you'll do that well and that some things are going to change in the top 10 anyway.
Yeah, I'm hoping to move into the top 10. I've had issues with the car every time I've taken it out this year. So hopefully we've got it lined out now, and we'll find out, I guess, Saturday.
Yeah, well, hopefully you and Frank both can move up and not, because I believe Frank's sitting right in front of you. I think he's in 10th, isn't he?
I'm not sure. I didn't glance at the points.
Are you points racing, or are you just out there having fun?
I'm kind of points racing. I've missed one race so far this year.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I'm racing when I can. Things have changed a little bit for me this year since I've got a little one now.
Right.
But when I can get out there, I'm going to be out there.
So tell us about that. You got a new child?
Yeah, I had a kid. She just turned 1 on Memorial Day.
A little girl?
Yeah, little girl.
What's her name?
Piper.
All right. Well, shout out to Piper. She come out to the track with Dad?
She has not yet.
Not yet, huh?
No. Her mom keeps her at home.
Well, two is a little young, so we'll get her out there sooner or later.
Yeah, she'll get out there. It's just a matter of time.
So how you like traveling around with the Sooner Limited Modified Series?
I've had a lot of fun with them. After racing that first weekend at Meeker, everybody ran real clean, and that kind of sold me on it, the way everybody was running. I try to race everybody clean because that's just a little less work I got to do. Every now and then I'll get into somebody, but it's not on purpose. Not on purpose at all. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I've been having a blast with these guys.
Well, it's a good group. I mean, they're really, they seem to me like it's a pretty close group, and at the same time, a pretty competitive group, and some of the best drivers, around the state of Oklahoma.
Very competitive. I try to stay out of the leaders' ways.
Well, you've been doing pretty good, man. Not bad at all. I've been impressed with watching you come along, and I think your time's coming.
I hope, but it's going to take. I'm still learning every day. So
absolutely. Well, that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to learn every day.
Yep.
So tell me, what's your favorite track?
My favorite track is Tri-State Speedway in Pensacola, Oklahoma.
I've never been to that one.
That track is a blast.
And why exactly? Why is it your favorite?
It's a high banked 3/8. They have changed it up a little bit. It's not as high banked as it was, but since it's so far out, me and Frank, we'd make the trip and try to go once a year, and it's just every time we went, it's been a blast.
Have you ever run Salina?
I have not, and I'm looking forward to running it this year.
Yeah, the series will be down there. That's a nice high bank track. I think you're going to like it a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that track. Everybody talks about it, and I'm ready to try it.
So are you used to traveling around like this, or you usually pretty much stay pretty close to home? Or
I usually stay pretty close to home. I ran strictly Ada for the longest time.
Right.
And then we finally ventured over to Meeker and Outlaw when it was open. And with this series, we haven't really traveled much because we've been to Meeker and Ada, but I'm looking forward to what we've got coming up.
Well, there's some good events. There's some really good events coming up. So.
Yeah, and I missed Enid this year, so I'm looking forward to going and trying out Elk City and Humboldt and Salina, Caney, Greenville. I'm ready for all of them.
Oh. So in all of your racing, there has to be one time that stands out as one you'll never forget, maybe your best performance or your favorite night at the track, or one time at one track that just stands out over all the others. Tell me about that one.
My biggest standout right now as far as limited modified goes is when I rolled my car on the first night in Ada. First night of the race, I rolled my car on the front straightaway in Ada.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was not pretty.
No, it was not. But we got it put back together that evening and ran it the next night.
Yep. You guys, like I said earlier, man, hats off to you guys. You guys work really, really. I mean, I'm not putting anything on anybody else that they don't work hard on their cars, but you guys work hard, and you do it pretty much all yourselves. So, the fact that you guys are able to stay competitive like you do and do as well as you do speaks a lot to your commitment.
I appreciate that.
So where will we see you in the future? Besides, are you just running with the limited modified series? Or are you doing some Ada and Meeker stuff, or?
Pretty much strictly the limited modified series. I am going to try to go run the Brian Denker Memorial Race in Ada this year.
That's going to be a good event.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good event. That's an awesome deal. For those that might not know, modified driver Brian Denker, who ran a lot at Ada, has been at Meeker. Well, he's been around for a while racing, and a very, very helpful guy. Passed away this past year after a long battle, and they've put together a memorial. If I understand correctly, Preston, it's not for Brian, it's for the possible upcoming drivers who may have some horrendous event happen to them or some life-threatening medical deal. Is that right?
Yes, that's my understanding. Is it's going to be for racers in need.
And that's a cool deal. And Brian, I think, would be really, really honored by that because, you know, he'd been helped out by the racing community a couple of times. And that's going to be a really big, really good event. And I hope to be able to be there for that. I'm working on something in the back that maybe I'll be there for that event. So, and that is, let's go ahead and talk about when that is. That's in July?
I think it's July 14th.
That's what I was going to say. It was 14th of July over at Oklahoma Sports Park in Ada, and it's going to be a big, big event. I saw yesterday that modifieds have been added to the event. If you're curious or interested in the event, go on to Oklahoma Sports Park's page, or there is a Brian Dankert Memorial page that's been set up. You can go on there and find out all the information and you know, how you can be a part of that because it's going to be a great event. And the fact that it's, you know, helping out drivers who may, you know, none of us never know what's going to happen, what's around the corner. We, especially drivers, they face danger every weekend, and they, you know, they face it, you know, head on. But sometimes you get sidelined by something that, or sideswiped by something that you're not expecting, a medical condition or something, and or an injury, you know, while driving. And this is a great fund that's being set up, and it's going to help out some people. And Brian would be so super proud of that. And I'm honored to even be able to talk about it. So there you go, right there. I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, hopefully we can get hopefully quite a few drivers will show up out there and kind of help out a little bit.
That'd be great. That would be great. So tell us about who does help you with the car. Besides, we know Frank helps you out a little bit. There's got to be some other people.
Yeah, Frank's dad helps me out quite a bit, Bobby Stapp. And then we have Craig Richards helps us in the pits, and my dad helps us in the pits when he can make it. And there's another guy who comes around sometimes. His name's Jake, and he helps us out. So we've got a decent. Oh, and Neil. I cannot forget Neil McMillan.
Neil McMillan.
Yeah, he helps us out a lot.
Yeah.
So
what about sponsors?
Sponsors, don't really have any sponsors. Angie with Knockout Graphics, she helps me out, and I appreciate that. She helps me out with getting my graphics and numbers done, and she's super fair to me. And so as long as she wants me to, I'll have her name on my car. And other than that, it's just my pocket.
So that's doing it the hard way, man. And we, like I said, all the respect in the world to you. You guys do it the hard way, and you do it good. And I'm happy to know you. You know, it's you and I've been running around this thing for a little while.
Yes, we have, and it's been one heck of a ride. And hopefully, I can keep on keeping on.
Right. Steve, you got anything for Preston?
Hey, Preston. You know, I just want to tell you thank you very much for following us around. And you know, I understand having little ones, you just kind of make it when you can. But I really do appreciate all your support, and just want to wish you the best of luck, especially this weekend. I was just looking up your points. You're 12th in points right now, and you're 21 points out of 10th place. So I think it can happen. I think it really can.
Yeah, I hope so, and I appreciate y'all putting this together. I've enjoyed it a lot, and hopefully I can keep following y'all around even in the future. Well,
I appreciate that. Yeah, trying to make it good for everybody, and want to put on a good show for the fans and put on a good show for the drivers.
Preston, did you make it over to Meeker for the Fallen Hero 50?
Yes, I did.
How'd you do in that race?
I finished 11th is where it scored me, and that was a rough night. My back brakes were locked up, so I was driving through my back being locked up.
Wow.
I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
11th place ain't too shabby for that race. That's a tough event.
I was just out there trying to survive.
Yeah, consider you're like dragging the rear end around. 11th place isn't too bad at all.
Right.
That was a good race and a good event.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it is.
It was the longest time I'd been, or the most laps I've ever made in one race, and I really enjoyed it.
It's a little hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it wears on you a little bit.
Well, dude, I appreciate you being on. And go ahead, Steve.
I always enjoy watching those guys get out of the cars as soon as they cross that checkered and they get out of the car after 50 laps. Man, they just get, first thing they do is shake their head, goes, "Whew, that's a long race."
Yeah.
But 50 laps, it does sound like a long race, but it really went pretty fast.
Oh, it goes by really fast, but I like to think of it from the driver's standpoint. That's some over 200 different times of turning the wheel, and
Well, I can't remember.
No telling how many bumps and bangs, and if the track starts getting a little bumpy, and
Well,
no track's never smooth as glass. So
back when I was racing, I remember looking at that flagger, like, man, are you going to throw that checker or not?
Yeah.
I've done that several times.
That's mostly them August and September races when I want to just not even get in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, they can wear you down this time of year.
Well, as I was saying, Preston, I want to thank you for being on the show and for traveling around with the series, and we appreciate it very much, and wish you much success in the future. And I'll be watching for Saturday night to see how you do. I won't be there, but I'll keep up with it, and good luck to you.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
You too.
Richie, do we have a commercial break scheduled?
Oh, we can take one.
Well, let's take a short pause for the cause.
All right.
Today's show is brought to you by High Tech Tactical, Hoosier Racing Tire, Steve's Auto Machine. Also brought to you by 41 Shocks, Knockout Graphics, Smiley's Racing Products, Bulletproof Products, Donco Plumbing, Schonefeld Headers, FB Designs, Ibex Race Bumpers, and RLD Productions. Now back to our show, Sooners Limited Modified Series.
Oh.
There you go.
All right, so we're back on the Sooner Limited Modified Series radio show. Are we waiting on our next two guests to call in, or have they already called in? Or
They're not called in yet, but I will send them a text message right now to get them. Make sure they do call in.
Well, give me a time, since we just did a commercial, to go ahead and mention the rest of our sponsors for the Sooner Limited Modified Series. FB Designs, Hoosier Tires, Knockout Graphics, Smiley's Racing Products, Bulletproof Products, Donco Plumbing, TCC, which is Total Custom Carbs and Dyno, 41 Shocks, Steve's Auto Machine, High Tech Tactical, Images Times 2, that's Gary Pegg and Liz Lambert, Ibex Motorsports, Quick Rescue Roofs, KR Performance Fuels, and Schoenfeld Headers. And also, it gives me a moment to mention the fact that we're giving away a 270 Savage Trophy Hunter rifle, a nice deer rifle. It is a raffle that we're doing this year. The tickets are $10 each, or 3 for $20, or 7 tickets for $40. So obviously the 7 tickets for $40 is going to be your bargain there. And I believe we're going to be announcing it live on Facebook October 27th. So that means you'll get your rifle in time to scope it in, sight it in for deer season if you wanted to. And if you want to check that out, it is on there's a link to it on our Facebook page, and you can buy tickets on PayPal, or you can get a hold of Stevie Slater, or you can post on the Sooner Limited Modified Series Facebook page, and we'll see your message, and we'll figure out how to get tickets to you or get you to the tickets or whatever. We'll be giving that away. Is that the right date, Steve? October 27th?
That sounds about right. I'm actually kind of looking it up because I was going to share that link on this. Yeah, we're doing it right before the rifle season. That way, everybody can have a chance to have a brand new rifle for their season. Let's see here. That is, October 27th. That's correct.
Cool. So get out there and get you some tickets for that and take that thing home with you. Of course, we'll be selling them at every event that that the Sooner Limited Modified Series is at throughout the year. There'll be somebody selling them down at Ada, I'm sure.
Yes, there will be somebody down there this weekend, matter of fact.
There we go. Our other guest on?
Yep.
It's,
I'm here.
Hey, all right.
Yep.
All right. Our second and third guest, if you will, are Jared Baird and his sponsor, Sebastian Neal. Good evening, gentlemen.
Evening.
How's it going?
Jared, let's talk to you first a little bit. We wanted to talk to you the last time we had the show, but you had a conflict of your time and schedule, and congratulations on the win on the Fallen Hero 50.
Thank you.
Heck of a race. Looked to me like your plan was go high, get out front, stay there.
Yeah, that's the plan we had. We tried to tag the back with Robert because we were actually tied in passing points. We tried to tag the back with him and try to take that challenge on, but they didn't want to. They didn't want us to do that, so we decided to start right where we were going to and never looked back, I guess.
Well, it worked out pretty well for you. You had a few challenges a few times, but really, for the most part, you were out there on a rail.
Yeah, I've seen old Don underneath me a couple times, and anytime you see his nose, you better get up on the wheel and do something or he's going to pass you. So,
right. And Heston Shaw was making a couple of moves at you there a few times, but he couldn't quite get by you either.
Yeah, we've had a pretty good car, so.
Well, like we said, congratulations. I hear from what Stevie told me that you have found out that quick rescue roof's probably going to be a really good thing for you because you couldn't get out of the car with your helmet on.
I was going to try to get out of the car in Victory Lane with my helmet on, and because I was so excited and I couldn't get out of it. So, I mean, I'm a bigger guy, so maybe smaller guys can get out, but I get locked up around the shoulders. So,
well, that's an important thing to know, and hopefully you'll never need that knowledge. But I guess with that quick rescue roof, you'll be all right anyway.
Yeah.
So tell us about your sponsor and our guest, Sebastian Neal. How long have you been working with him?
We've been together now, I guess, this is our second year. We actually worked together before. We don't anymore, but we worked together and we met each other and found out that he was a big-time race fan and loved sprint cars. And he didn't really know what to think about me and what kind of car I ran until he came. And when he kind of seen what our operation is, he wanted to jump aboard. So he's been helping ever since.
Cool. So, Sebastian, we've talked to Jared before. We know about his background. Tell us a little bit about Sebastian Neal. How'd you get involved in racing, and how long have you been involved in racing? And tell us about Sebastian.
Well, my cousin started sneaking me into the races probably when I was about 4 or 5, and I've just been hooked on dirt racing ever since. And around 2000, I started helping out. I don't know if you know who Preston Peebles is, but he ran ASCS and some NCRA stuff for a few years, and we went to Knoxville Nationals and that whole deal. And then
Cool.
he got married and had a kid and kind of quit racing. So I just kept going to State Fair Speedway every Friday night and wherever we could go Saturday just to watch, and then it closed down. And I kind of just quit going. And like Jared said, last year I was working at my job, and he came around the counter, and I had a background of Johnny Herrera up there, and he saw it and asked me, if I liked dirt racing, and it just went from there, and to be honest, when the modified started running the city, I wasn't a fan, but Jared took me to the track, and I've learned to really like them. So it just took a lot of getting used to going from sprint cars to those. There's a lot more to them.
Absolutely. Sprint cars are pretty fun, though.
Way more maintenance, and but Jared really impressed me, just the way he runs things. He keeps everything clean, and is real articulate about his setups and everything. Just really impressed me. So we just got to talking and hit it off, and we've been doing it since then.
Cool. So what did you think about the were you at Meeker for the Fallen Hero 50?
Oh yeah. I've only missed a few of them that he's gone to. So yeah, that was really good. That was awesome.
We put on a heck of a show out there, and that's a good event there.
Oh yeah. And he was running good last year in it, and then we broke, and that's what he wanted. We both wanted to come back and do real good this time, and yeah, he let it start to finish. So
yep, can't ask for much better than that.
Mhm.
Did pretty good last weekend down there at Meeker. Also, him and Jeff Roselle put on one heck of a driving clinic there, I thought, last weekend. Smaller field, but a pretty talented field, and there was a lot of good racing going on. And unfortunately, Jeff held out for the win, but Jared never gave up the whole time. He was right there.
Yeah, it was close.
Well, tell us about your business.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask about your business. What is it you do?
Well, I'm actually sea bass racing is just something I started back in the early 2000s. It's kind of just my own deal, and I'm actually just a parts guy at a dealership. So yeah, it's mainly out of my own pocket. So,
well, you and I would speak the same language. I'm a parts guy also, but in the aftermarket.
Oh yeah, yep.
I work for the O. So the name Seabass, is that? I mean, where did that come from?
I got that nickname, man, back in '98 when I first started at my first dealership working in parts. One of the technicians called me that, and it just took off from there. Everybody started calling me that. So
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So y'all excited about going down to Ada?
Yeah. Yeah, we're excited. You know, we won down there last time we were there, so we want to pick up where we left off. And, you know, when you run the series, it's always tough. You just got to always make sure your ducks are in a row and make sure you're up on the wheel, or, you know, you in the heat race for sure, you're not going to get there for the feature, especially at Ada. You know, Ada can be a hard track to pass on, so you want to make sure that you start towards the front.
Right. Yeah, it's a track where you can't afford to miss the setup, and like you said, you better do well in the heat race.
Yeah, that's right.
Any plans to do anything different, or any changes you're going to make specifically for Ada, or just? I mean, I know you got to change gear, but I'm talking about, are you still going to be running the top? Still going to be looking to, you know, go to the front real quick?
Well, you know, the top deal's just kind of, we changed the setup a little bit this year and wanted to try something a little different. You know, over there at Meeker last year, we won a lot of races, and everyone was kind of, you know, making their comments about how we were a bottom feeder. And I just wanted to prove that, you know, a Ramirez race car can win anywhere on the racetrack. So that's why I've kind of changed my setup a little bit to run the top, and the top is fast. I mean, it's work. You know, the bottom is fast. You know, Jeff kind of catfished up on me last weekend, and he did a good job. He didn't miss a beat. You know, he passed me, I passed him back, and then he passed me, and I just couldn't ever get around. You know,
and you two guys. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He did a good job. I'm not going to take it from him. You know, it was just kind of one of those weird nights. I did have a lot on my mind. One of my really good buddies passed away last week. Actually, Memorial weekend, but his funeral was actually the day of the race at Meeker. So, you know, and he raced at Longdale. He ran the intermediate class up there. I actually put him a car together, and we were pretty good buds. We were together pretty much every day, and he worked for me for a little while, and we're going to miss him, you know. And so I had a lot on my mind, but I'm not going to take that away from Jeff. You know, he passed me. That's just that's racing. He did a good job.
You both did a really good job. That's what I was going to say, was real clean, never touched each other. I mean, just one heck of a show for the fans. Everybody was right up on the edge of their seat.
Yeah, Cody always, Cody always does a good job at, you know, Red Dirt, and he's trying more and more every week, trying to change the track up, something a little different here, a little different there. Some nights it's not as good as it was the week before, but at least he's trying, and at least it's not a dust bowl, you know, for the fans and the drivers. You know, his tracks are normally slick to the center, and, you know, got something up top to grab a hold of, or something down there on the very bottom. And that's how a racetrack should be. So
yeah, I agree. And he had a pretty good crowd out there Saturday or Friday night, so that's always good to see. I remarked on the fact that although the car count was kind of small, it was a really talented group. It kind of made the racing better in some ways because there wasn't a lot of cars in the way, if you know what I mean, and I know you do.
Yeah, I like to have a full field, though, especially on that racetrack, because you're going to catch lap traffic if it's a full field, probably in at least 10 laps. And I think, when lap traffic comes to play, and it's hurt me before, I'm not going to lie. It's cost me a race there because of lap traffic.
Yep.
But on the same hand, some nights lap traffic can help you. And that comes with experience,
Right. Well, it was still a pretty good race.
I can remember racing a few years back and was leading the race and was getting down to the very end, and we caught lap traffic. And I didn't realize how much I'd slowed down. Robert Elliott come by me like I was sitting on jack stands. That right there makes you a better driver. You got to, that's why lap traffic is good for someone like that he was struggling through traffic, and then I got stuck in traffic and he caught me, so.
Right. Yeah, lap traffic can definitely change the whole complexion of a race. I mean, anything can happen. So it does make it interesting.
Larry, Jared is the only one to repeat this year. The series.
Is that right?
That's correct. That's 5 races. He's won 2 out of the 5, so that's pretty good right there.
Well, that's good on both hands. I mean, it means that it's a dang good series if we've had 5 races and only 1 repeat winner, and it's a good sign for him to be that 1 repeat winner. So yeah, that's a heck of a deal. I did not realize.
Other than the series races, he's won quite a few races already this year.
Oh yeah. You know how many you've won already this year, Jared?
Yeah, I think we've won 7 races this year.
That's not bad.
We've won 3 times at Ardmore. I can't remember. 3 times at Meeker, I think, and then at Ada.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, the Ardmore wins are really good because we kind of struggled down there last year, and Jared was kind of debating, whether to go back or not, and he'd always hesitate, and he just kept after it, and he's got it dialed in pretty good there. So we were pretty pumped on those 3 wins down there. That was a pretty big deal to us.
Yeah, that can be a difficult track.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some tough drivers down there. I've been told a lot. I haven't been actually down there, but I've been told a lot. There's a pretty tough little track to win on.
It definitely is, because a lot of people, think Ardmore is a really big track, but you can actually run a lower gear than what you run at Meeker on the bottom, and then on the top, you can run what you run at Ada.
That's pretty interesting, actually.
It is.
Never really look at it that way. Yeah, it's 2 different gears in one track. So, that time you won at Ada, is that the first time you ever won there?
No. I've won a spring fling there. I've won a few just regular nights there. We won a series race last year there.
That is true. That is right. I can't believe I forgot that one. Yeah. it's an interesting track. I know some people have, they like it, but they always say that it's a tough track because being it's hard to pass and it's not just shaped like your everyday racetrack. It's kind of a D shape, and I think it makes it interesting.
It's definitely Ada is probably definitely one of the faster tracks. You hold a lot of speed around it, but it like I said earlier, if you can start up front, you're not too bad. But if you got to start in the back of 20 cars, it's just almost impossible to get back up through the front. And I would say that it was hard on tires and stuff, but I mean, I think it's pretty good compared to a track like Enid.
Yeah,
Enid was pretty tough on tires.
I like Kip. I've always liked Kip. Don't have anything to say bad about him, But that track, I mean, I'll never go back.
Yeah, I've raced. One time I've ever raced on Ada was in my street stock. I think I only raced like once there. So, are you going to go to Red Dirt this weekend? I know they got a pretty good little event with the sprint cars.
No, I think we're actually going to miss Friday night and save our stuff for Saturday. We've hit it pretty hard this year, and racing twice a weekend. And when you do the type of work I do, I work all day, and then I come home, and then I work on trucks at home. It's never ending, and then I try to get the race car ready. And when you try to race twice in a weekend, it wears on you and your family after a while. So I think we're just going to run Saturday and call that good.
Yeah. Especially being warm as it is, it's a little tough, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you want to talk about your sponsors?
Yeah, I'd like to, thank Seabass Racing for sure. Sebastian, he's, it's not necessarily always the the money deal when it comes down to it. He comes out here, he helps me wash the car, he helps me, change transmissions. And like what I was just saying, when it comes, racing 2 times in a weekend, well, when you go from one track to another, we're changing transmissions, twice a week, and he's always here, he's always helping. So, he's not just a sponsor like that. He's a friend, that's comes and puts in his time as well. And then I'd like to thank H&R Vending. They're a new sponsor to us. I'd like to thank my wife the most and my kids. And then a good buddy of mine, Matt, he's been out here every day with me on the car with Sebastian, helping on the car, and he's really done a lot this year. And my mom and dad and everyone who supports us and comes and watches and cheers and sits in the stands, if you don't even come by and say hi after the races, that's fine. As long as you're up there cheering, that's what racing's all about.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
thank you for being on tonight. I mean, this is a little bit, been a little different. We never had actually a driver sponsor come on, so that's actually it's a cool deal. I'm glad you got to come on.
Me too. I'll come on with whole Hollywood anytime, Jared. Anytime.
Yeah, we really do appreciate you guys both being on the show for us. It's a great thing for us as it is for you. We get a chance to get everybody out there and get a chance to let the fans hear what you got to say about things. So thank you again for being on, and good luck down at Ada Saturday night. And we'll see both of you, I guess, at the track in the near future.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
See you this weekend.
Bye.
Well, Steve, it gives us about 5 or 6 minutes to talk about whatever. Raffle. Let's see, Saturday night, you guys will be at Ada. I won't be there, but Sooner Limited Modified Series will be at Ada at Oklahoma Sports Park.
Yeah, we'll be there, and just want to remind everybody that the raffle tickets will be on sale up there. Just want to let everybody know. And actually, I just got one of our guys wanting to call in. Just give me just 1 second here. Dusty's White, he's wanting to call in from FB Designs.
Oh, awesome.
But anyway, they will be at the track and will be available. So just catch me at the track or catch one of the guys or over at the booth, and we'll take care of you on that. So yeah, you'll be at Enid this weekend. I'm going to try my best to try to get you some video. That way you can see what kind of action we got. Hopefully we can see what you got over there.
Right. Yeah, I'll be out at Red Dirt Friday night, and then Saturday I will be making the trek up to Enid, and yeah, I will try to put out some video from both events. Definitely be looking forward to seeing what's going on down in Ada. What's the next event after that for the Limited Modified Series?
We'll be at Elk City next weekend. I think
Elk
you and I was
City.
actually talking about it. We won't probably see each other for, another month? Is that what we was talking about here last night?
I think it's going to be July
27th.
7th?
27th. We'll be at Humboldt.
Yeah, because you guys won't be at Enid on the 7th, and then unless I see you down at the Brian Danker Memorial Race. But as far as being with the series, yeah, I won't be with the series again until then.
Yeah. Yeah, we kind of got scattered everywhere the last
Right.
few races.
Right.
Well, Dusty's on. Let's see what he's got to say about
What's
his,
going on?
Hello, Dusty. How are you?
Hey, Larry, what's happening?
It's a great day in the neighborhood, dude. How about you?
Oh, pretty good. Good show tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys run up here in my neck of the woods instead of me having to travel halfway across the state. Can't wait till they come to I can't wait till they come to Humboldt and Caney.
Right.
They got a track out that far?
Well, Caney's about 22 minutes from my house, so I'm going to love that. And I like them little quarter-mile bull rings anyway. The action is non-stop.
Yeah, I have to agree.
Oh, that's right.
That's a good show.
Yeah, we got a bull
And,
ring up here. Glen Ridge is a bull ring, and it's always action-packed. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, Humboldt's really good, too. And Stevie and I have been working on Chris Jackson. We're trying to get Chris Jackson to come run both them shows. Maybe we shouldn't spill the beans, but we don't have a full confirmation yet, but we have talked to him. For you guys who don't know who Chris Jackson is, he's leading the nation in the USRA B-Mod points, and he's a pretty good shoe. So he just won a big race last weekend up at Humboldt, and he won one at Lebanon the week before that. So yeah, he's pretty good. So if we get him to show up, that'll surely give our guys, rattle our guys' cage. And the graphics thing has kind of slowed down, so I've been working on the picture deal. I've been doing some picture backgrounds for some of the photographers and different things, and trying to help these photographers out that's got really busy schedules. You know, most of them got lives, unlike me. You know, they don't sit around in front of their computers all day long. So, and I've been doing some for the drivers too. So, if any of the guys want any kind of a photo edit, if they'll get a hold of me, well, I'm sure we can get pictures from Liz and them, or if you got a favorite picture, we'll get you some photo edits done. And speaking of photo edits, Stevie's one of them guys that, he'll give you a hard time. So a while back, he's giving me a hard time about something. So I had to edit him up a photo, and he ain't giving me a hard time since. So, but anyway, we won't show that to anyone, not unless it gets out of hand again. But so you gotta keep some ammunition in case you ever need it. Some payback ammunition. Some payback ammunition, in case you ever need it. So.
Yep.
But anyway, well, that's all I wanted. I just wanted to call in and say hi. I hadn't called in for a while, and tell you guys you're doing a fine job and all that. And enjoy listening to enjoy listening to you, and love it when you go live, so that this old man sitting in his chair can watch the races even when he can't be there. I appreciate that. So. And I'll see you on the road before too long when you guys decide to come north.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling in, Dusty.
All right, you guys take care.
All right.
Bye.
And no, I'm not sharing that photo.
That's our buddy Dusty White with FB Designs calling in there. We appreciate Dusty. We appreciate him calling in, and we appreciate his help, all the help that he does for the series with our graphics and stuff.
What kind of photo is it?
I don't think we need to talk about it there right now, do we?
We're not talking about that, apparently. Apparently we're not. I apparently think we should, but apparently we're not.
That's in the do not discuss
category. Well, say he's pretty good at Photoshop, I can tell you that much.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that about brings us to the end again.
Yeah. Like I said, you're going to be Red Dirt Friday night. You're going to be Enid Saturday night. They got a pretty good program going on Saturday night at Enid, and we got us a full program going on at Oklahoma Sports Park. And I think we're all going to be pretty busy this weekend, so there'll be lots of good racing.
Right, that should give us plenty to talk about when we have our next show.
Well, yeah, we're going to try to do that next Thursday. Try to get back on schedule. We'll see what happens on that one, right? So,
right.
We
like
should.
I said earlier, that I like to get Quick Rescue Roof. I like to get them and call in, and they can talk about Quick Rescue Roof. Still waiting on some news about some other tracks going on. Hopefully, I'm hoping by next week I'll get some information, and we can be able to announce that. But until then, I can't really say much about it until I hear more.
Excellent.
All right. Well, hopefully it'll be good news.
I'm hoping so. I think it's going to work out, and these guys are going to be really excited about it as soon as I get to be able to announce it.
Cool. Well, we'll look forward to that. So I guess until next Thursday night, on behalf of Steve Slater and Richie White, I'm Larry Carr. I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in, and Jared Baird and Sebastian Neal and Preston Crawford for being on the show, and Dusty White for calling in. And get out to your local racetrack and support dirt track racing in any way you can. Take somebody to the track with you, especially someone who's never been to a race before. Let's get some more people involved in this sport and share what we enjoy so much about it. Until then, good night and good racing.